Hey guys, this is Jack Spartan here, and today I am giving my first commentary video. So this is not other videos I've typically done where it's just raw gameplay with no comms or whatever, or Battlefield Bros or any other videos. It's just me talking about a topic that I want to choose and just talk about for a video. And what you're seeing in the background is a round of Conquest Sarge and one of the new maps from China Rising called Guilin Peaks. And so, yeah, that's what basically the topic of this video is going to be about. It's my impressions of the new expansion, China Rising. Now, of course, I got an early access to the new expansion, China Rising, because I'm a member of Premium, and we got to play it on December the 3rd. I believe everybody else gets to access it on December 16th, if I remember correctly. But basically what you get is 4 brand new maps set across the Chinese mainland. You get 2 new vehicles, you get 10 new assignments, and 2 new gadgets, and a new game mode, Air Superiority. I think the first thing I'll talk about is the vehicles. So you basically get 2 new vehicles, the dirt bike and the bomber. The bomber specifically being the Xi'an H6K Chinese strategic bomber jet. Now, I wasn't a huge, back to the dirt bike, I wasn't a huge fan of the dirt bike, and when it came out for endgame for Battlefield 3, I was kind of the person who's like, a dirt bike doesn't belong in a military shooter, I guess. I don't know if I could really say that. I don't know, that you can't justify in the game. It has its purposes, but I feel like they could have had another vehicle to do it. But the bomber is really the really more interesting vehicle you get in this expansion. It's basically acts as a replacement for the AC-130 gunship. It's not a commander asset, that's for sure. It works like this. On Conquest maps, there's a central point typically in each of the maps where you can capture it, and you get access to this little comm station where you enter it in like a vehicle, and it calls on a bomber, and the bomber is basically a rail system. So depending on what team you are, whether or not you're fighting for the US Marines or the Chinese Army, that bomber will spawn from your deployment, go in a straight direction, and basically the entire map is available for you to drop ordnance on. Now you start out with these very small looking, like kind of weaker bombs than what you can unlock later. There's an assignment where you can unlock, I guess, a cruise missile. I haven't gotten that yet, and I haven't tried it out, but it sounds like it's pretty powerful. But yeah, so it works as a rail system. I was kind of disappointed by this. I would prefer it to be like a 2-seater jet. That would have been awesome. One person piloting and another person, operating the bombs. And that would have been really cool. Get me and a friend of mine just fly around the map, just bomb people to bits. That would have been really awesome. Apparently, according to Jack Frags, he talked to one of the developers of the expansion, and they said they've deviled in whether or not allowing the bomber to be player controlled, and they said it just didn't work. And so I would like to find out more about that. But like I said, I would have preferred, instead of the dirt bike, I would have preferred something like, I don't know, the tank that appears on the cover cover art for China Rising, and that apparently has been speculated to be the T-96G, which I don't know too much about, but apparently it's another Chinese main battle tank. That would have been really cool to have. But yeah, so moving on to gadgets, we get 2 new gadgets: the SUAV, which is a small unmanned aerial vehicle, and the UCAV, which is the unmanned combat air vehicle. The SUAV is unlocked by completing an assignment in which, I don't remember the details of it, but all I remember is you have to at least get 1 kill with the bomber. And so far the SUAV, I think, has proven to be a very useful gadget. I mean, that was the first one I've unlocked, and it's basically a little paper airplane that you throw in the air, and you can spot enemies and laser designate targets, basically vehicles. And it's been a really useful gadget ever since I've gotten it and played with it, because I'll typically, before I attack an objective or go towards the area, I will throw a SWAV, basically is what I call it these days, and examine the land a little bit, check to see who's going to be coming from the objective or who's around. That way I can make a better educated decision about where I want to go in the map. And it's pretty good also for designating vehicles. You can just like basically follow aircraft, like helicopters. I did that one time, just following for at least a minute a attack helicopter and just laser designating him. And it's really a useful tool. Unfortunately though, I feel like the Nerf hammer will need to come because you can get road kills with it. And a couple of nights ago I had some really bad experiences in Rush with the SUAV because we had a bunch of level 110s just using the SUAVs just for road kills. And we would just see like at least 5 of them flying around the area for Rush. And so I feel like, you know, you can get like 1 kill off of each and make the reload time maybe a little longer. That would work to balance it out. Now the UCAV I have not yet unlocked, but I've heard it seems pretty powerful. I've been the victim of it. So it's basically a drone with explosives. So think of the SUAV, but a much shorter time, I guess, and an explosive payload. It's pretty powerful. I've been destroyed in a tank by it, so I don't know what to do about balancing that, but I guess it's a pretty cool gadget. I haven't really tried it out, but hopefully I can unlock it pretty soon and get some kills with it. Moving on to Air Superiority, this is basically a game mode that has made a return from Battlefield 3 Endgame expansion, and what it basically is domination with jets. The stealth jets, which really aren't stealth to begin with, but that's besides the point. And, you know, I think this expansion and the return of Air Superiority has really renewed my interest in that game mode. I wasn't too interested in it in Battlefield 3 just because I was not very good with jets, but ever since they've been making the controls for the air vehicles easier and easier as the games have been coming out, I've been feeling more compelled to fly these jets and helicopters and so on and so forth. And me and the Great Hubert, one of my friends, we've been playing Air Superiority. As you should know, we have a new series called Air Superiority Sundays, which you should go check out. We've been doing pretty decent. I mean, it'll take some time to become really, really good pilots, and I don't have a joystick, so it's still kind of difficult for me to control, but I can still control it. But Air Superiority has proven to be very fun so far, and I hope to continue to play it for quite a while. And it's interesting because one of the maps, Wheelan Peaks, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, you get to actually do attack helicopter air superiority. So it's not jets like the other maps, but it's helicopters, and that's a little nerve-wracking because you're not flying just past each other. You're like basically hovering, staring at each other, and that can be kind of nerve-wracking. But it's really fun nonetheless. No, actually, the meat of what I want to talk about is the maps. Now, I just want to say that these maps are phenomenal. They are just beautiful to look at. They all take place in the mainland of China, and they're just really great maps as far as I can tell. You got somewhat varying environments. 2 of them are very similar, and the other 2 are kind of different from each other. The first map is Silk Road, and that's basically the consensus I'm hearing is a very Bandar Mini-Me desert with a lot of mesas, and it's just a very beautiful map to look at. It's just like, it's a very vehicle-oriented map, and which is really awesome because I like vehicles. And it's basically like a military outpost in the middle of a desert, surrounded by mesas in the back and sand dunes in the front. I don't know which direction that would be, if it's north or south, but that's regardless. It's a really good map for vehicles, for ground vehicles like tanks, IFVs, and a lot of fighting will take place in the base, but there can also be a lot of fighting outwards, on the outer red edges of the map. But it's like I said, it's a really good map. That's certainly one of my favorites of this expansion. The next map, which you're actually looking at, and I said it earlier, is Wheelan Peaks, and this map's also really good looking. I've heard from a lot of people that this looks a lot like Battlefield Bad Company 2. I wouldn't know because I haven't played Battlefield Bad Company 2, but from what I could tell, it has a very, very Vietnam-esque look to it. I feel like, hey, what am I in Vietnam or something? From all the war footage I've seen of Vietnam, and it's just a really good looking map. It's very infantry focused. Both sides don't really get a whole lot of vehicles except for ATV, dirt bikes, and a transport helicopter. So a lot of it will be infantry fighting, and there's like a lot of like a web of pathways that like lead directly to each other, and they all seem to also lead to the center where the big peaks are. And there's like a huge cave system, and the caves are absolutely beautiful. There's rice paddies that surround the map. It's a really good map for infantry, and this is also a really good map, I think, to work on shotgun kills, which I haven't really done a whole lot yet. And yeah, I mean, like, in terms of my favorability, this is not one of my most favorite maps, but it's slowly growing more and more on me. The next map is Dragon Pass, which I think is definitely another one of my very favorite maps. It's kind of like Guilin Peaks, but it's more vehicle oriented. Certainly more airs than ground vehicle oriented. It's kind of like a swampish riverside community, and like just the lighting of it's really good as well. I really like the lighting, and it flows really nice. I mean, and when you look at the map, it looks linear, but it's not completely linear, because there are opportunities for flanking all around the map, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, you have a river where you can use that with boats and go down directly to the command post closest to the other team's deployment. And there's also great great opportunities for sniping in the map. I got some really good sniper kills on that map a couple times, and it's overall a really good map. Altai Range is also this next map. It's very reminiscent of Alborz Mountain. It has snow-capped mountains. It's shaped like a bowl, so there's like command posts all around the outer edge of the map, kind of like in a circle, and then like there's a weather station in the middle where the bomber obviously is able to be accessed, and it's a very nice open map. Also, a lot of great sniping can happen on the map, and there's a lot of vehicles that can happen. That's kind of like a on-off map for me. I can have either really good rounds on that map, or I can have absolutely terrible rounds. It just depends, obviously, on the team that you're going up against. And so, yeah, I like that map. I like all these maps, actually, really. They all have something to offer, really, really good stuff. The expansion overall, I think, has a lot to offer. It's a really good first expansion, technically, because that's what technically everybody except for Xbox One gets first. Xbox One got Second Assault first, and really good maps. I think the status of this expansion is on par almost with Armored Kill from Battlefield 3, because those had really good maps, really good open spaced maps, not too many linear maps, which I really like. So that wraps it up for this first commentary video. I'm just going to allow the rest of the video to play, so it'll just be complete, not me talking, but just gameplay. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a subscription if you want more videos, and leave a like if you like this video. And I hope to see you on the battlefield.
This is actual. All call signs advance and hold area marked. Over. Hang on, let me help you. Grenade out! Foxtrot has been neutralized.
I need you to attack this objective.
Supplies incoming. Get in and get out. Take what you need. Objective Bravo is neutralized.
Yeah, I'm picking him out now. They spotted hostile machine gunner.
Objective Alpha has been neutralized.
Yeah, suck on this.
helicopter has been
Attack
spotted
this
south of
objective.
your position.
I got eyes on an enemy chopper. Spotted. Enemy helicopter.
We neutralized Objective Alpha.
Enemy helicopter.
Objective
Spotted.
Delta is now ours.
I got eyes on an enemy chopper.
Enemy machine gunners operating north of your
Spotted a
location.
hostile.
There appears to be an enemy sniper located north of your pause.
Grenade out!
We just took Objective Foxtrot. Objective Bravo is gone.
Spotted a hostile.
There's a hostile helicopter north of your current position.